Okay, so I got the fourth pole in there now. You see it's right in the middle there, right in the middle where I am. And when you get the first 3 poles up the tripod, you really don't have to worry about length that much anymore. It has to be long enough, of course, but you can see at the top there, this pole was quite a bit longer than I needed, but that's okay. Just stick that portion out at the top. That'll be fine. Yeah. So, yeah. That pole right there that I just put in the middle there, that's where the door is going to be. And you say, well, if his door is going to be there, how come you're putting a pole right there in the middle of the door? Well, the thing is, I need that pole there to hold the structure up until I get around to cutting the door. Once there's all filled in here with poles, I'll cut the door out and I'll put supports across to hold the poles that are being cut. That'll be done later, and I'll show you how I do that later. So, but yeah, I'm gonna fill the whole thing in with poles, so when the whole thing's filled in, there'll be no way to get in there until I cut the door. And then I'll have to cut the smoke hole in the top. Smoke hole I'll probably put around this side, right in that V there. The smoke hole will go in that V there. Yeah, right at the very top. And I'll have to put a cross piece in there pretty soon. Maybe after I put one more pole on that side, I'll have to put a cross piece in there so that the next poles I cut are shorter than the top, to leave space for the smoke hole. Anyways, it'll all be seen when it's done. Yeah, so it worked out to be 18 feet. So from this pole to that pole over there is 18 feet. So the diameter of the base of the teepee will be 18 feet, which is a nice size. And it leaves room for, of course, the fire pit is going to be right in the middle here somewhere. I'll dig a hole there. What I want to do is get some kind of a metal ring to put in the fire pit, like a ring around it. I don't really need that on the outside fire pit, but in the inside fire pit I want to contain it more, you know, because I don't want any big fires in here. Just maybe a 5-gallon pail would go nicely, the roundness of a 5-gallon steel pail. And sink it into the ground, and just leave about 4 inches sticking up, and then I can put a grill on top of that, and that will work out nicely for cooking, like making coffee on in the morning and stuff like that, or even bigger meals. But it'll keep the fire from being too big, because you don't want a big fire inside here, especially since I'm building with natural materials. I mean, there is a lot of moss around here, I've been noticing. You can see it here. This is sphagnum moss, you see it? And I'd like to cut sheets of that, you know, 3-foot, 4-foot sheets of it, and lay that on the outside once I get all the poles on. I don't know if I'll have enough, or if I'll have enough clear space to cut that, but that's what I'd like to do, because once, like, this hasn't got much dirt on the inside of it now, but I'd cut it deeper so that it had more dirt on it, and just pile it onto the outside of the teepee. And it would grow there. It would all mesh together and grow to one piece. And it would be perfect camouflage. That's the ideal way to do it, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not, because there's not a lot of open spaces here, you know. I mean, I can't cut sheets of moss in the bush there. It's just too bushy, and there's something growing everywhere on the ground. There's no way to cut it. So anyways, we'll see. I haven't gotten that far yet. I have a tarp. I have a green tarp that I could throw over top of it too. I'd rather not use a tarp if I didn't have to. But we'll see. I'm not going to consider that right now. Just want to get the basic structure up and get it all filled in with poles. Yeah, there's a nice breeze here today. I mean, it cools me off. I mean, I get hot like cutting those poles down and limbing them. But when I have that breeze, it's nice. cools me off. It is still humid here, but not as humid as it was last time I was here. But it's humid enough to make me sweat when I'm cutting the poles down. Anyways, I'll just take another break now after I cut this pole, and I'll get back in there and get another one.